Hello, today we are playing League of Legends and I am playing Teemo. The adorable Teemo.
I'll scout ahead.
Some reason, oh no, it's just the way my computer works at the moment. Yeah, I like Teemo as a character. I really do in League of Legends. He has got some really good attacks that he can use, and one of his best attacks, which I think is Toxic Shot, which can at full power can one-shot minions, is a passive. It uses no mana at all, which is goddamn awesome. And
a summoner has reconnected.
We had a good team here. We had a really good team here. It was bloody brilliant because it was like we each knew what we needed to do. I took the mid, which I think Teemo is very good at. I like using Teemo with mid as a mid player. And if you don't understand what mid is the, if you see at the bottom, there's this map, right, with like these lanes that you can see. The middle one is the middle lane.
Armed and ready.
So mid. Yeah, and it really is rather good. Teemo has some very interesting abilities. I would recommend you pick him up. Doesn't actually take too long. You've got to play like a couple of matches before you unlock him. You don't need to pay for anything in League of Legends. I haven't yet anyway. If you ever think you want to like say this is a really good game and pay for something, what I pay for is IP boosts, which is basically the currency, which allows you to get buffs and things. You don't spend IP during the game, you spend it out of the game, and it sort of helps you in game. And what I love about this game is that it's relaxing, but you got to think. You do have to think. And I really do think that League of Legends is something that everyone should try. There is no story to it. That has screwed one of my mates about it. Yeah. Oh, back to the match actually. I go for blinding shot here, which is a very good technique. It sort of, their range of detection, anything, lowers in greatly, and it's like, yeah, that's very useful. And I find it very useful most of the time. Here I make a mistake. Yeah, I get first blood. That's not good. I look to see if I can buy anything, and I buy one of those. Unfortunately, I can't see it at the moment. I can't see very much while I'm recording this, which is a bit annoying. Let me try something. Sorry about that. That didn't work. But yes, this game is free. It is totally free. There is no reason not to just go and download it. And Teemo is one of my favourite characters in the game so far. Now, he might not be your favourite character. I don't. It's to their own. What I suggest you do is, you're gonna get, if you're gonna go into League of Legends, what I do suggest you do is, don't buy anything, don't spend your IP for at least until you get used to playing with different people. There's an entire roster of free champions. The people you see, the people who are like popping abilities and stuff, like AoE attacks, are champions. don't buy any. There's usually some on a free rotation, and take take 2 weeks. Save your IP, which is your basically a currency that they have in this game, for 2 weeks, and you should
Scout ahead.
be able to afford a basic champion. And pick something that you like. If you, of course, go through the training first, but if you like the training champion, which is Ash, I think she is. If you like Ash, Ash is very, very cheap, and I would get her. I really would. That's another champion I do recommend. Also, get yourself a support sonar. So I can't. I just look at the names. Person who looks like Twilight Sparkle is really good for most people, and yeah, get some cheap champions and work with the cheap champions. You don't want to keep saving until you find a champion and then find out you don't like it. And always, I don't do this, but always check the new champions every so often and see if they're any good, because there's a free rotation every week of the champions, as I said before, and do check them out and see if they're any good.
Armed and ready.
I have got to admit, this game can be well balanced if you've got a good team. If you've got a bad team, it's horrible. It really is. Oh, and you've got to buy things that'll improve your champion, like it'll improve stats like attack speed, which is very important for Teemo, because the attack speed allows him to get Toxic Shot off a lot quicker. Toxic Shot is basically every single shot the person gets poisoned, causing more damage over time. With the increased attack speed means he can shoot more off. And each champion, you have to learn the way to do it, but there is sort of a guide in the store that basically says this is what the people who made the game actually recommend you buy. And yeah, most of the time they get it spot on. Sometimes I go away from the guide so I can like farm money. If you look in next to the cute chap at the bottom right, I think, my character picture, there's like these icons. The middle one, if you look at that, is a item that gives you 4 money every 10 seconds. That's why my money is going up even when I'm not killing anyone. And yeah, you kill money for you get money for killing champions, you get money for actually doing nothing. You can sit there and just farm money by just sitting there, but I wouldn't recommend that. There are things in the jungle area that I haven't quite gone into yet in this match, but I will in a minute. Yeah, they give you money, but they're a bit difficult to do at lower levels. And yeah, you will get addicted to this. And I'm not the best player, but I do like League of Legends. I really do. And I really do recommend you get yourself a mate, you and a mate in on it, and you can refer the mate as when he gets to level 10, which is not that difficult if both of you are playing. You get both of him and you get extra IP, which you can spend, which is good.
2, 3, 4.
I'll leave a link if you want to help me. You can be referred by me, and which is good. It helps me and it will help you. When you get to a certain level, you'll get something and I'll get something. It's, if you're a fan and you like what you're seeing here, I would recommend it. you don't lose anything by just taking the referral. I've got to say, this is the jungle bit area. There is like these mobs that you can take when you're high enough level just to farm for money and experience, which will unlock new abilities. And yeah, I gotta admit,
2, 3, 4.
this was a good game, and it was it's one of the best games I've actually got recorded, because recording this game is a pain in the arse, if you can't tell. It really is. And oh, another thing is, the minions, the small dudes shooting, not the one with the name Thrawn 1 on top of it, but the small dudes, yeah, those are minions. They get killed by turrets, the things that I'm shooting at the moment, and you've got to kill. Yeah, there I go, I've slain an enemy, so yeah, it's you've got to clear the lanes of the enemy's turrets, but you've got to keep your turrets safe as well. And there are 3 lanes, and it's a very interesting game. It's quite you don't have to be a strategy buff to get into it. There is no real strategy. You've got to concentrate on your lane, help your friends when you need to.
2, 3.
I'd say get some mates around doing this. If you like got people at school or people at your work who just like you're really good mates with, and they're into games, they probably know about this. If not, tell them about it.
I'll scout ahead.
Just get them on Skype and you will get into it rather quickly. You really will. I have got to say, Teemo is a good champion to choose. I like Teemo, he's very easy. Also, when you there's like about 100 champions now. When you look at the champions, there's like a bar that says, is it difficult to learn? And at the beginning I'd choose very low level difficulty champions, and here's the interesting thing, the low level difficulty to learn, aka easy to get into champions, are cheap to buy if you want to buy them. Participate in about 10 matches, or I'd say 4 max. 4 max if you've just come into the game, and you should be able to get yourself a low level champion within no time. Don't buy runes until you're a higher level, and I'd say you're going to get into this game very, very easily. Now, I would sometimes, when you get the chance, take a look at the item list for your champion. This is the suggested item list that I'm in now here for Teemo. These boots give +2 attack speed and things like that. And I'm sort of preempting by buying a component for a higher weapon.
Armed and ready.
And it sort of lowers the price of the higher weapon, if you see what I mean. And this sort of thing is very good for... It's good for the late game.
I'll scout ahead.
I've got to say, talk to the other people in the game. As long as they're
I'll scout
of
ahead.
reasonable common sense, you shouldn't lose. As long as they're just like... You're going to be a noob the first time. And you've got to say,
Yes.
I'm a noob at the beginning of the match. If they've got good players, they will say, right, do this, do this, do this, do this. I'll help you. just say I need help. People in people say that the League of Legends thing is got a very anti-community spirit, but it doesn't really if you get a good match,
Armed and ready.
which I think is good. I also think that this game is very, very clever, and you got to think
That's
about.
sting.
You have slain
There are a lot of strategies, and you will learn to enjoy it. I do recommend you pick it up. It's totally free. It's well worth your time and effort. The only thing I'd say is you've got to complete the match. You can't just leave it halfway through, because you're sort of letting your team down. So if you've got small blocks of time to game, I wouldn't do it. If you got like 26 minutes or 36 minutes, I was checking my key bindings. Sorry about this, but I was checking if there's a way to select something. There probably isn't. And you can alter the key bindings if when you get good enough. I don't really alter the key
2,
bindings
3, 4.
because they're quite good. You control your person with the mouse, which is an interesting technique. You control your
slain.
the things that you pop, like toxic shot or blinding shot, with the Q, W, E, and R. And there's 2 others, but I don't actually pop them using the keys. I don't like popping them using the keys. I use the mouse. I find it easier because they're active, but they're AOE things, so they're not that useful to do. You will learn to love a few set of champions,
Yes, sir.
and if you do want to buy something in League of Legends, I would recommend you buy IP boosts, which, like, for every match you win, so you get an IP boost for every match you win, which will help you. There's like a pack of like 10, which is, you can get that for about £5, and that'll increase the amount of IP that you actually get from every single match, and it'll work in your favour, because the more you play, the easier it is to unlock things like champions, abilities like runes to help your champion.
You have slain an enemy.
I really would recommend this game. Well, I keep on saying this, but if you're probably watching this, you probably know this game anyway, so I'll stop saying that. My strategy with Teemo is to go Toxic Shot, which is passive damage over time attack, and the blinding attack, which I can't quite remember the name of it. It's the first one on the list. Then depending on the battle, I either go, if you've got a lot of minions, go the AoE mushroom attack, which is basically plops down a mushroom that kills everybody. It's got a time delay, but it's quite good. I've actually taken off a few champions with it, which is quite interesting. And sorry, I love it. It's just like,
Armed and ready.
yeah, it's interesting tactics. And I got completely double-sided there, and this is the chance I get to buy this. I think everyone who can shoot something like bows, arrows, darts, something like that can buy that, and improve their attack speed because it gives them like this ball that fires something with them. Unfortunately, I can't see what you're saying because the way I've got it set up at the moment, it's very difficult to see. But hey ho. Yeah, this game is keep on saying that, but I shouldn't. Teemo, one of the most basic things I've got to say, is attack speed, attack speed, attack speed. That is the best thing that you can do with Teemo. Increasing the attack speed every single time. He doesn't chew through mana like other champions, like some champions do. And actually, you sometimes put the mana. There's two items you can choose every time for every single champion. They're all the same, and then you get like this list. The more levels you go down, there's you got a heal attack, a heal AOE for your minions and any champions nearby, and a mana, basically a mana buff. See there, I was doing the healing AOE attack. That helped me a lot. And as you can see, that little yellow ball next to my character, which is Teemo, by the way. On duty! I love doing that. Fires something as well. It increases attack speed, and it like doubles the amount of darts you fire, which is really good. I've got to say Teemo is a good character. I know I've been saying this over and over again, but he's really good, and attack speed is the main thing with Teemo. With other characters, it's if you're good going support, choose something like health, and I always choose health and mana regen because the others I don't feel so often are of any use. I don't feel they're as useful as the ones that are around here. We win this match, by the way. Can't believe I've killed 8 people. Killed 8 champions, which is quite good. Every time you kill a champion, you get a lot of money, which is a good thing. And yeah, you can see Teemo is beasting the minions right now because he seems to be able to attack a lot of times, which is really good. I do think Teemo is... There are several types of characters. There are tanks that take a lot of damage, that take damage and also put out a medium amount of damage themselves. Sort of like in World of Warcraft tanks sort of thing. They take the damage. There's assassins that are quick and very stealthy and can kill quite quickly. There's support, which is basically healing, mana regen, things like that. I've got a support character, which is good. There's attackers that attack turrets. If you know the game, you know this already, but if you don't know the game, there is a champion you are going to find and love. There is no way there isn't. And I've got to say, also, you can recall it if you're in a really good place, and you should be able to do quite well. I think we're nearing the end of this game. It's another about a minute and a bit, and yeah,
Armed and ready.
it is a really good MOBA. I don't know why people hate calling MOBAs, but yeah, it is a very good game that I do recommend you take a look at. And I do quite well. I've done quite well in this game, and I'm glad you've watched. Thank you very much for watching. This game is something that you have got to try it, because it's completely free. It's not on Steam, but it's completely free. doubt there's any computer that cannot run it. It's not a hungry game to run.
Quadra kill.
3, 4.
If you've got like an hour to waste, it won't kill an hour, but it'll get half an hour done out of the way. And it's like 30 minutes to do a match. This was done in 26 minutes and 9 seconds because we beasted it. Basically, we did very, very well.
Your
And
team has destroyed a turret.
here we go. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you liked this video. And if you want me to do more, please tell me you'd like me to do more. If you want to subscribe, thank you very much. It's much appreciated.
Has destroyed an inhibitor.
And they decide to give up, which is quite. No one bests Teemo in battle. Thank you for watching.
Victory.
Take care.